Welcome to this episode of Mercy Can't Stop Her. I am your host, Judith Tambia Obatusa, JKO. Today is the third episode in our four-part series on our role in ending femicide. This series was inspired to honor a precious member of our Windsor Essex Black community in Ontario, Canada, whose life was cut short by domestic violence. On today's episode, we'll explore the importance of empowering women to be financially independent. Last week, we talked about providing practical help. The week before, we started the series with creating a safe space for the woman. So this week's episode, we want to talk about how we can support a woman in an abusive situation to develop skills, pursue employment opportunities, and access financial support systems that can provide them with the security and freedom they need to make decisions for their safety. Now, let's dive into the discussion. Financial control is frequently employed to maintain power and control over women in abusive relationships. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, financial abuse occurs in 99% of domestic violence cases. Abusers often restrict access to money, prevent employment, or sabotage job opportunities as part of their control tactics. Sometimes these things are couched under love, I want to protect you, and all of that. Sometimes they could make the woman carry the financial burden of the family, and she will amass debt while they use their money for themselves and their savings. A study conducted by the Allstate Foundation found that nearly 90% of domestic violence survivors reported financial abuse during their relationships, including tactics like restricting access to money, preventing employment, or sabotaging job opportunities, like I mentioned earlier on. So those tactics are the way it's the way they operate. And of course, the other one of making you bear all the financial burden of the family. Survivors of abusive relationships often share anecdotes that highlight how financial control becomes a significant barrier to leaving the abusive situation. These stories shed light on the challenges faced by women who find themselves trapped without financial resources or job prospects. And if they have children, this further compounds the situation. Let's consider the case of Yolanda. Yolanda's partner had complete control over their finances, leaving her entirely dependent on him for even basic necessities like female hygiene products. She had no access to their joint bank accounts, and every penny she spent was closely monitored. Furthermore, he had successfully isolated her from friends and family by moving them to a distant city, and he monitored her phone calls, increasing her sense of social and economic isolation. Yolanda's lack of financial independence made it incredibly difficult for her to gather the necessary resources to leave the abusive relationship. So, with no savings, no credit history in her name, and limited job prospects due to being out of the workforce, Yolanda feared her inability to support herself and her children if she were to leave. This fear ultimately kept her trapped in the cycle of abuse. Research by the McKinsey Global Institute suggests that advancing gender equality in the workforce could add $12 trillion to the global GDP by 2025. So, empowering women economically benefits not only the individuals themselves, but also society as a whole, and could actually break the stronghold of intergenerational poverty. Studies have shown that financial independence is associated with improved self esteem, reduced risk of depression, and increased decision making autonomy for women. Achieving financial independence can be transformative for women in abusive relationships. In fact, studies show that financial empowerment not only allows them escape abusive situations, but also enables women that leave abusive relationships to pursue their passions and provide better opportunities for their children. And in the generation before mine, and even the one before them, and even some people in my generation, and I'm 52, many women are still in abusive relationships and they are pursuing their passions and providing better opportunities for their children. So financial independence is very important even in the abusive relationship. Let me tell you my friend Sally's story. Sally's husband was a successful and well-established immigrant in the US when he met her on one of his visits to his home country in the West Indies. He married her and facilitated her immigration to the United States to join him. However, he was emotionally and physically abusive to her. Sally endured this for many years, but through determination and hard work, she managed to gain financial independence. So, despite the challenge of the marriage she had found herself in and having 3 children in the course of the marriage to take care of, Sally went back to school, obtained a degree, and secured a well paying job. This newfound financial stability allowed her to eventually leave the abusive relationship and provide a safe and secure environment for herself and her children. So Sally's financial independence not only provided her with the means to escape the abusive situation, but also gave her the confidence and freedom to pursue her passions and create a fulfilling life for herself and her family. Now, both Sally and her children are thriving and living a happy life. And the children are following in their mother's footsteps of academic excellence. So many women in difficult relationships become empowered when they're supported to go back to school, start a business, learn a skill, and start making their own money. One thing that motivates women in difficult relationships to seek financial independence and those who love them to promote it for them is sharing the importance and the difference it makes in a woman's life. So you can promote it to a woman in a difficult relationship, promote financial independence to them by sharing how important it is and the difference it makes in a woman's life. So sharing data on the importance of self-assessment and skill development can inspire women to take action to gather what they need to get financially independent. For example, studies show that women with higher education levels have better employment prospects and earn higher salaries on average. So, by sharing success stories of women who have pursued new careers or started successful businesses, you can illustrate the transformative potential of self assessment and skill development. This will also renew hope in the woman. So if that person did it, then I can do it too. As a friend to that woman in abuse, are you able to do this for them? Are you able to, if you cannot share data, connect them to networking and mentorship so they can see other people who are doing well, so they can know that it is possible? Networking and mentorship also play a pivotal role in empowering women in abusive relationships. Research indicates that networking can significantly impact career advancement and even entrepreneurial success. According to a study by LinkedIn, 70% of people were hired at a company where they had a connection. So it is what it is. Where you know people, you get opportunities more easily. This data emphasizes the significance of networking opportunities for women seeking employment or entrepreneurial success. So, women need to network and to get somebody who believes in them, who can mentor them, for them to be able to get that financial independence that we're talking about, which can lead to so many other great opportunities. Let's hear about what happened to Maya. Maya was in an abusive relationship in a city where she had no social or professional connections. While dropping off and picking up her son from school, he was in grade six. So she met another parent whose son happened to be in the same class with her son. As they took tentative steps towards friendship, her new friend invited her to a Women's Day event at a local women's empowerment organization. Through the organization's networking events and mentorship programs, Maya connected with a successful businesswoman who became her mentor and advocate. The mentor recognized Maya's entrepreneurial drive and shared her expertise, providing guidance on business strategies, marketing, and connecting her with potential investors. With her mentor's support, Maya started her own business and began networking within her industry. Through these connections, she found business partners, secured contracts, and expanded her customer base. The networking opportunities and mentorship that she gained by being part of attending events and being part of the local women's empowerment organization not only allowed Maya to achieve financial independence, but it also helped her gain confidence and establish herself as a successful entrepreneur, free from the abuse she once endured. When we talk about gaining confidence, it looks like maybe something not so important. But for many women who have been in abusive relationships, that confidence, they no longer have it. For years, they've been rejected. They've heard negative things about them. And one thing about this is it also affects their thinking patterns. And then, of course, we've heard them say thoughts become things. So it becomes a cycle of negativity because of what she's enduring. So it's so important that we are able to support our friends, our neighbors, colleagues, our family members, community members who are going through abuse so that they can regain the confidence that the experience has cost them. Through networking and mentorship connections, women in difficult spousal relationships get opportunities, job opportunities, business partnerships, and even career growth. This is why it's important that we do not see people in these situations as limited because they are going through these challenges. Their challenges are not all that they are. They are much more than their abusive situation. And they alone know their limits. So that idea of saying, oh, because of what she's going through, I didn't invite her, I didn't give her this opportunity. Please provide them opportunities to become more and let them make the choice. Now, with a job or business comes the need for financial literacy because financial independence comes from knowledge of our finances. Data shows that women often face unique challenges when it comes to financial literacy. According to the Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center, women worldwide tend to have lower financial literacy scores than men. These challenges get further compounded when abuse is involved. But when women are empowered, it can make a huge difference to their financial literacy skills and also their financial freedom. Let me share Cindy's story of freedom with you. Cindy was in an abusive relationship where her partner controlled all the finances. She had no knowledge or control over their joint bank accounts and felt completely dependent on her partner for financial stability. Determined to gain control over her financial situation, Cindy enrolled in a financial education program offered by a local organization supporting survivors of domestic violence. Through the program, she learned about budgeting, saving, and investing. As she gained knowledge and confidence in managing her finances, she started making informed decisions. She set up a separate bank account in her name, developed a budget, and began saving money. With the guidance of financial educators, she also learned about investment opportunities that could help her secure her future. The impact of this financial education on Cindy's life was transformative. It empowered her to take control of her finances, make informed decisions, and ultimately break free from the abusive relationship. By understanding her financial situation and having a plan in place, Cindy was able to create a foundation of stability and security for herself and her children. In challenging situations like leaving an abusive relationship or being in an abusive relationship, emotional support plays a vital role. Research suggests that social support is crucial for individuals facing challenging situations such as job searching or starting a business. And we are not even talking about those things. We're talking about the added layer of an abusive relationship. And these people who have endured this or are enduring this also maybe job searching or starting a business. Emotional support can help alleviate the stress and improve their mental well-being. Numerous studies have highlighted the positive impact of emotional support on individuals facing challenging circumstances. Having a supportive network of family, friends, or mentors can provide a sense of belonging, empathy, and understanding. In fact, research suggests that emotional support can help individuals cope with stress, reduce feelings of isolation, and enhance their overall well being. A study published in the Journal of Health and Social Behavior found that emotional support from close relationships, such as friends and family, was associated with lower levels of psychological distress. So, having someone to share concerns, provide encouragement, and offer a listening ear can significantly impact an individual's emotional state during challenging times. And we're talking about financial independence here. Imagine how having a strong social support can help a woman who is still trying to navigate the financial jungle she's found herself. So this is still part of that conversation of how we can promote financial independence in the lives of those women around us who are in abusive situations. Let me tell you what happened to Nina. Nina was in an abusive relationship where her partner systematically undermined her self-esteem and isolated her from her friends and family. You may have noticed this issue of isolation is something that is common with abuse. It's one of the red flags. So if someone you know is being isolated, doesn't attend events, always having an excuse, you need to be more compassionate and create that safe space. I will put a link to that episode of the podcast. Create that safe space so we can share their challenges with you. So in Nina's story, she eventually confided in a coworker about the abuse she was experiencing. So that coworker became a source of unwavering emotional support, offering her a listening ear, validating her experience, and encouraging her to seek help. This emotional support became a lifeline for Nina and gave her the courage to reach out to local domestic violence resources and create a plan to leave the abusive relationship. The ongoing support from her coworker played a pivotal role in her journey to reclaim her life and regain her sense of self-worth. Note the phrase ongoing support. One way we can provide ongoing support to our friends and family and community members and colleagues that are in abusive situations, but are taking our advice and making one or two steps forward, is to cheer them on. In challenging situations like living an abusive relationship, emotional support is so important. Recognizing and celebrating the progressive steps of a woman in an abusive relationship is paramount in building her resilience. Each step taken represents a triumph over fear and adversity. By acknowledging and celebrating her accomplishments, no matter how small, you validate her strength and determination. This recognition uplifts her spirit, reminds her of her resilience and worth, and empowers her to keep moving forward. So it's such an important part of the conversation. So as you advise her about these things around her financial independence, and she's taking one step, no matter how tiny, please be her cheerleader. Number one cheerleader makes a whole lot of difference. So in this episode, we explore the issue of financial control as a tool used to keep women trapped in abusive relationships. We emphasize the importance of empowering women to develop skills, seek employment and opportunities, access financial support systems, network and mentorship, and receive emotional support. By providing these tools and support, if we can stand by these women and promote their financial independence in a practical manner, we can help women break free from abusive relationships, achieve that financial independence, and build a better future for themselves, their children. When we do this, mercy can't stop us. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.